But with the Diddy thing, I don't think it's trumped up charges on a black man.
Mm.
Diddy, man, I have a lot of thoughts on this. Diddy is I don't think it's trumped up charges on a black man. I think, and I also say this: careful of how crazy you talk about,
Mm.
and not just y'all, anybody, people in the chat
Mm.
about this situation because your favorite might be next. 50 Cent say, if you've been following 50 Cent, he's saying Jay-Z might be. Jay-Z's my favorite rapper. He's saying Jay-Z. Like a lot of these people who are in this mainstream like tier, I don't think you get there without doing some spooky kind of stuff. And Diddy is obviously in that tier. He's got private jets. He's got a huge house. I think they all got a little something that may or may not come out. And also Gene Deal. If you've been following Gene Deal
Salute,
and
salute to him.
Reggie
Mm-hmm.
and Reggie
Yeah,
White,
Gene
they've
Deal.
been saying this
Salute to
stuff.
Reggie.
yeah.
I'll say let's get our no Diddy jokes off now because Reggie White, he knew Diddy. He's saying Diddy the type of guy who will off himself. Being put in a situation. He said recently, Diddy's the type
Yeah.
of guy in this situation,
He
he
did
will
He
say
was
off
that.
himself.
concerned. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he
So,
was
Shoot
so
Reggie,
concerned.
shoot
That's
to
a little
Reggie
big.
and first Bond first. Salute.
Mm-hmm.
right. So no Diddy. I mean, it's trending. It's got momentum. I like it. But let's get all the no Diddy jokes off now before it becomes non-politically correct. That's
Facts.
all I'll say.
Facts. No, top five's 100 on this joint.
Right.
J Camp, Bebo P in the chat. What do you think? And again, this is why we kind of started off by saying, hey man, again, is it just, them pushing black? Because again, I ain't never heard nobody on his level having military dudes coming to the house, bi-coastal homes
Yeah.
being raided. And again, we understand the game. We understand what Diddy been doing. You know what I'm saying, let's be clear. But
Well,
is it this?
on
Go
the
ahead, go ahead.
military thing, not to cut you off, on the military thing, that's par for course. Especially like so, for instance, DJ Academics, he got his crib raided
And they
over
came through.
over a
Yeah,
search warrant.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Facts.
because
Facts.
the feds already know Academics owns a bunch of guns, so they're not going to come into your house. And I'm sure Diddy does, and people who live there does as well. So they're not just going to come into the feds aren't going to come into your house with nothing when they know you have guns or you could have guns. They're going to come prepared, like for anything. And yeah, they raided both of his houses while he was on a jet. Like the feds don't. It's like they're like almost like sorry to the religious people. It's like Jesus. When they come, they already know everything about you. They know everything you've done. So like, he's pretty much toast. It just depends on how well his lawyers do or how much he pays into the system. However that works for him to get maybe
Mm-hmm.
some type of plea. But the Fed's not going to come when unless they already know they've got all their ducks in a row. And they
Facts.
raided both of his houses as his jet was in the air. Like bro, they are very organized about this, and they're not just going to come and spend all this money. All those people you saw there, all the
Cost
vehicles,
money.
cost money, so they're not going to spend all that money if they're not 100% sure. Like they've already ran the case in their head, they already have all their evidence. To even get a search warrant requires so much to get a search warrant, and they had search warrant on what 2 or 3 houses.
Yep. New York, Miami, and the LA situation. You know what I mean?
So I mean, so come on, man. Like there's a lot of innocent black people who get done wrong. Diddy is not one of them. Facts.
Real,
Facts.
okay, yeah, keep this boy going. Antoine 1486 is saying the salute with the $2 hot. He going crazy in the paint, man. You know what I'm saying? We might, yeah, you know what I'm saying. He going hard in the paint, man. He's saying the feds known about Diddy for years. Why now though? J Camp, can you kind of answer that as you kind of,
Man.
swagging a little bit? You know what I mean?
We've always seen the feds go in on people when they're vulnerable. You know what I'm saying?
Pause.
When
Salute to Antoine.
when
Pause.
there's a crack,
No Diddy.
when there's a crack in the armor, so to speak,
Yeah.
and he's already got boatloads of suits sitting out there.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's court cases on his head, multiple. So it only takes somebody from the federal government just who gets antsy, want to make a name for themselves too, get interested in it. But I mean, human trafficking though is like it's a completely different type of crime though. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, man.
I mean this is they may not have found anything yesterday or whenever the raid took place, but we know they have something though. Like they again, I think Deuce made it said it or somebody else like when they own that ass, like they have something. I mean, same thing with Young Thug.
Diddy again.
They were following that for a minute. You know what I mean? So
Right.
they got something. And now they got all these witnesses they about to interview. It's about to be a done deal because they're gonna tell them where all the bones are buried. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
All the skeletons, where they hidden
All the
at.
pig
So it's just
feet.
a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. The first kick in the door was just like kind of like that was the shot to the ribs. It was the kidney shot. This next
Kick in
one
the
though,
door, waving the 4-4 on the anniversary of that song.
Man,
they kick in the
come
door.
on now.
They're kicking the door, man. The next one might be that dome shot. Pause.
Again, like Top 5 said, man, like, because again, they saw him at the airport supposedly and all that other stuff. Did he turn your camera off? Turn the nigga's camera out. Cut the nigga's nuts out. Bebo P. Again, like I said, we not making fun of anything with any of the people who are alleging stuff. We're not making fun of the fan. Because again, this is somebody's fan. This is somebody's dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Like, when I saw Keaton Combs in them in handcuffs, that's when they get real. And the fans is taking pictures of your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, BOP, what's your thoughts on this, man? Because again, man, this is one of our icons, man. Like, we can't front, regardless of what's going on in his bedroom. Like, this is one of the icons we grew up on. This is one of the dudes I wanted to be like when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? He pushed family. You know what I'm saying? It might have been a little different, but what I was sold at the time was family. Like I said, salute, this thing. Salute to Nazim Myrick. We interviewed Nazim Myrick, one of the hit boys, one of the hitmen, excuse me. And he basically told us, man, the walk with him, Harvey, and Puff starting everything with Bad Boy, and it was organic. He told us about the day that they went back in the studio when Big died and they had to go do the Missing You joint. The I Miss You joint. Like, this is real. This is history. You know what I'm saying? Of one of our folklore dudes. Bebo P, what's your thoughts on just the situation that happened this week? And is this a change of the guard of hip hop where we don't see gatekeepers or dudes of this nature on this status anymore? You know what I'm saying? Would it ever be another Diddy?
That era is dying away ever so fast, it seems.
Damn.
Iceberg.
Time's
Time's up for the Rainbow Diddler. And with him knowing that, he's officially the Negro version of Epstein, version 2.0 though. Yeah.
Hold up real quick.
Mama Bear with the Koofy too.
I'm putting Koofies out today. Okay, keep going.
Nah. I remember saying around the time that Diddy was utilizing his connections to get Travis Scott back into the graces of the award show that Diddy was on his last leg.
It was all good just a week ago.
What did Travis Scott have to do?
Damn, he was like, yeah, I'm putting him back on. Yeah, he on the Billboard joint.
Right.
And nigga, now you on spin the block. Now you over here. Wow.
Right.
Travis
And he was
Scott
on his last
dodged the
leg
big
back
one.
then. At that time, he was on his last leg. I also remember saying just a few short months ago that when you go after a multi-billion with a B,
Say that again,
billion, when you go after a that's beyond.
Welcome to the
these
liquor
folks.
business, my nigga.
Right. When you go after a
Company.
multi-billion-dollar valuated company and you're threatening to sue them as the listed billionaire Negro puppet that you are, that only prompts such entities to just put in that phone call. Just one, at least. We
Yep.
talked about that. Just one call is all it takes. Hey, Cassie.
And we ain't talking about Ghostbusters.
yeah,
That call going to
Right. Who you gonna call? First, Cassie.
Ain't going to Peter Venkman.
Right.
What
That's
this
all
thing?
it takes from that ilk to ruin the rest of your life.
Was this an avalanche of things? Was this the whole Cassie ain't gonna sue me? Forget her. Cause I remember this thing. I remember at the BET Awards where Sexy Red was twerking in front of Bobby Jones Gospel. He had said when he received an award there, he said salute to Cassie for being there in my dark times and boo. You know what I'm saying? He gave her props.
Yeah.
So it's just an avalanche of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not just the Cassie boo, not just the escapades and boo. You know what I mean?
with the Koofy.
I think it's definitely coordinated. Again, when you J. Kim said this earlier, the feds are gonna get you when you most vulnerable. So they know Diddy got. I mean, I don't want to come with the conspiracies because what this I think everybody pretty much knew. It's like Vince McMahon with the WWE when he got recently hit, his thing came out. Nobody is surprised that Vince
Yeah.
McMahon was doing
Right.
foul shit.
Fact, yeah.
Right.
No one is like, oh, he didn't do that. Like, and I think it's the same with Diddy. Like, I think pretty much everyone pretty much knew Diddy was on foul timing. So I don't think it's Diddy was about to buy NBC. You know how they used to say
Yeah, some
Bill
Cosby
Cosby?
type bull. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
he was on some foul timing. So I
Mm.
think he's got what's coming to him. But like J. Kim said, the feds are going to come at you when you're most vulnerable. So the feds to even raid right now, to raid, like get a search warrant and complete everything, have all the evidence lined up to even get that passed through the courts. They've been working on this for years.
Yes.
You're probably talking about 2015, 2016. They've been building this. So
Yes,
it
they
may
have.
be coordinated to where, in a way where, okay, Cassie does this person does, like all these allegations come out in a sequence, then the feds come, because the feds know you got to settle with this person, you got to settle with this person. You're going to have significantly less money to defend yourself against us. So it may be coordinated in that way, but I don't want to throw out any conspiracy theories that even suggest innocence from Diddy. Because again, it's like the Vince McMahon thing. It's like the Rob Schneider thing. Notice these are all white men. I'm naming Harvey Weinstein. No one is surprised about this. I think he's done some foul stuff, and the chicken's coming to roost.
You're right, man. Simply put, Diddy did this to himself at the end of the day. Not sure how things will pan out
Being
legally
arrogant.
for him.
With
But
this
yeah,
little
it's
geek
that arrogance, it's that
looking dude.
ego. You guys said it best as well. When it comes to those alphabet boys coming after you, they have their intel, and they highly likely have legitimate, probably more than enough legitimate intel in order to
The father of demon
play
times,
chess
though.
and to pin you down. So it's things will never be the same for Diddy. We'll see
Well
how
said,
things
Big Ol' P.
transpire, because there's always developments, on a daily basis ever since the raid happened. But nonetheless, it's looking like it could be a wrap for.
Well, and this is the thing
Sucks,
too,
Diddy.
man. I think top 5 said it for the biblical cats up in here, man. Pride come before the destruction. You know what I'm saying?
You say that again, brother, for the
Pride
people in the
come
back.
before destruction. So again,
Yep.
when you bet like this thing, you get mad at Casamigos because they saying it in the song and the record, but then homie basically like they cultivated their brand. You know what I'm saying? Diageo was like, man, this nigga gave us $1,000.
Right.
He talking about he owns something. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here with this bull. You know what I'm saying? Jenny my smack. So, and then obviously it turns into the whole Cassie situation. And again, let's be clear. He had a mansion in Atlanta that he moved out of because he said he's heard the ghost of Biggie in that joint.
Mm-hmm.
And it hits on Biggie's anniversary, a life after death.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, probably from that Zaddy bottom shelf powder.
I need the
mule
fact
that got
sound. I need the
arrested.
fact sound
Chick
effect.
camp.
Right.
Big top 5, what you thinking though, man? Like, go ahead and take us home,
Low
man. on
budget
this
sugar
joint, man.
booger.
Yeah. Go ahead and take us home, top 5.
Yeah,
On this
man.
joint.
I say this, man. The feds come, like people want to. There are times where you should use the black man argument, defending black people. They're doing black people wrong. This ain't that. The feds come in
Bars.
military trucks because they know what's in the house. They know your capabilities. They know you probably have security there. They're not going to come. If there's going to be any type of resistance, they're going to win. That's facts. Number 2, yes, his kids were handcuffed. We call them kids. They're adult men.
Yeah.
That is protocol. Like the
Fact,
yeah.
officers have to protect themselves when they come into the house. You are going to get unhandcuffed. But for now, as we conduct our search in this mansion, which is going to take probably hours and hours all day to
Bruh,
search,
yeah.
you are going to be handcuffed. It's just facts. That's facts. So it's not a
Oh.
black thing. It's not a they're doing the black man wrong. I just hate, like, there are times where that is absolutely true.
Facts.
This is not one of those times. Facts.
Again, like I
This
said, man,
LB
the
said
saga,
super
the saga. What was one of his albums? The saga continues or something like that. Yeah. The saga
Yeah,
continues
definitely
with some of this stuff, man.
That's
Again,
He says sex trafficking. Who knows what the thing is, Miss LB? The thing about sex trafficking is it's not always what we think it is. It has a very specific definition in the law. So if you're sending women across state lines to have sex and they're getting paid and they claim it's against their will, which is literally what's being alleged, that's considered sex trafficking.
R. Kelly basically had a woman who he found on tour, and she came with him, and that's considered sex trafficking. Because Paul, you know what I'm saying? So
And
that,
she
like
was
nowadays,
even
if you have a girlfriend,
18
you
yet.
say,
She
hey,
was like,
come
what,
over
you both
to
be
another
15?
state.
Right.
Well, either or. And I'm saying just in general, it could be
Yeah.
any age of a woman. If you
Right.
say, hey, come from Alabama to
Why
over
flying
here,
her out? Right. Yeah.
and flew her out, that's considered sex trafficking.